I would like to offer some practical fourth way exercises that we can all play with. All these exercises in the fourth way, or alarm clocks. The Guruji was saying that our sleep is not a regular sleep when you're like, hey, you're like, oh, you wake up. No, it says like a deep hypnotic sleep, where you wake up a little bit and then you imagine that you are waking up, but you are dreaming that you are waking up, and then you fall asleep. It's like so we need a long time shocks and alarm clocks, and then we need to, as Buddha said, the self must wake itself up by itself. But we need higher teaching and we need other people. So 3 exercises, and I will also take this as a short video and send it to you, but it's part of this recording that we recommend, because the fourth way is very practical. Actually, it seems very heady and intellectual, and it is, but it is very practical. So the first exercise is to basically observe the first obstacle to awakening is this the state of being lost in daydreaming, what is called imagination. So the recommended exercise is throughout the day, as you are driving, walking, going on the bathroom, and any other time, to notice, actually to just notice how you are. All the time there's this constant thing, somewhere else, some other time, thoughts about other people, judgments about myself, what would they think of me. Could be harmless, neutral, like, oh, I gotta do this, and I'll make sure I do this, so yeah, it'll be nice. So Christmas, I'm gonna go to Bali, that's nice, yeah, that's kind of cool, you know. Could be like that, or could be like, oh yeah, I think that I said that they saw that I'm not worthy, and then yeah, you are never gonna amount to anything. So it can be from mild to very painful. Still is imagination or negative imagination. So try to, whenever you catch yourself in this unnecessary, uncontrolled, useless thinking, past, future, or oneself or others, to just drop it. It just, actually, the moment you become aware of it, it stops. And try to engage your attention in the present moment to become aware of sounds, become aware of the body here, standing or sitting, become aware of what's happening in the body. So you catch yourself in imagination, come back to the present moment, observing what's happening. Observing doesn't mean to think about it or to analyze it or change it. You will be horrified. If you do this correctly, you will be like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? This all the time. Hey, this is you are not, everybody's like that. You're just becoming aware of it. Yeah, especially, I'm not saying not to have thoughts. Sometimes we need to plan, you're an attorney, you're a teacher. You need to have thoughts and to plan. That's okay. Do it. Or you have creative stuff. That's okay. I'm talking about this. I'm walking, the body's here, the mind is somewhere else. Brushing your teeth, being I really like this peeing, pooping, consciousness practice. It's just take a moment, just be conscious here. No need to think. This is one. The second one is an obstacle that creates identification, is that we are in this fast-paced world and mechanical efficiency, it's called, where we are rushing and going, and we are the moving center, the body is doing all these things in a frenzy or rushed, and then we are identified with the moving center and and not there. A good exercise is to, whenever you are touching a door handle or closing the door, opening the door to the car, to use that as a shock, as an alarm clock, to be more aware, to just be there, really slow it down, even be there consciously when you close the door rather than slamming it, it's like just slow it down for a moment and be there.
And it can be any door, car door, front door, refrigerator door, cabinet door, desk drawer. It could be any of these things.
Yeah. And use it. It's not about the door. It's use it as a way to remind yourself to be more aware and to be there. And actually, if you catch yourself that you just slammed it or closed it, you can even go back and do it again. There's a story from Buddha that he was talking and there was a fly and he brushed it. And then he did it again. And then a disciple was like, what's happening? What did you do? So, well, this fly, and I just did it. But then I realized I wasn't really aware of that. So I just did it consciously. I don't know if Buddha really did that or if he needed to do that, but that's a good exercise. Even you can sometimes just close it and stay there for a moment. The moving center doesn't want to, it wants to keep going, so, and use that to be more present and then stay as present as you can.
And Dana mentioned earlier about wrong work of centers. This is connected to momentums too, especially in the moving center. When we get into momentums, consciousness dips. And this exercise we're proposing here is an opportunity to purposely interrupt momentum in our body, in our moving center, as the fourth way calls it, so as to sort of give more oxygen to awareness, to be present.
And the last one, and yes, all of them, we are not doing it in order to be weird or to be more slow or it's all to remind us to be more frequently, to remind ourselves about this work of becoming more aware, more frequently during the day, not waiting for a special meditation, although it's very recommended to do some meditation. Just everyday life, yeah? The last one is to pick a sound. To pick a sound, maybe your cell phone. You may even want for a week change your cell phone sound, something different. And use a sound that whenever you hear that sound, to be like almost like a Tibetan Lama is like doing like, ping, remember, be present, be aware what's happening. So use a sound to use it as a reminder to be more attentive, to be conscious of what's happening in the here and now, and stay as long as possible. I'd like to have my phone on. I don't have any sound, so it's a problem. But you can put a vibrate. You put a vibrate, or you can choose any sound, maybe a sound of horn or a sound of the wind. Choose a sound that will remind you to engage in this. So this way we are trying to switch the dimmer switch of consciousness from the second state to more aware, more conscious.
And this also, the sound exercise, we can call it, connects to the momentum exercise. So something Mihai and I were discussing when thinking about some of these exercises, for example, when let's say the text tone on your phone, every time you get a text, probably most of us get a text more often than a phone call these days, to not immediately pick it up, to hear the sound, use the sound as a reminder. This sound is here to remind me. It's like a signal being sent to awareness, to consciousness. Be here, come back, and resist for a few seconds, or if you can longer, but even at least a few seconds. Don't just grab for the phone. Who was that? What was it? Pick it up. No, let it be, so that you can be for a few seconds before you go back into the life of phone, or you know, identification these days has become electronification, and it subsumes a lot of our attention and our awareness. So this is really a wonderful exercise. This, use this sound and connect it to the phone, resist, be present. And there's a lot of opportunities during the day for this one.
So if you are, yeah, that's it. And if you are eager to learn more or something, there's a playlist called the Reigniting the Fragments of the Fourth Way, where me and Peter talk about things in depth.